I'm not a soldier who's prepared to fall in the battle.
Never.
I will die with my boots on. It doesn't matter who says what. I will die.
Face me alone. I don't need anyone. I can stand up to all of you alone. I don't want people to die for my sins. I die for my own sins. I will never start that which I will never finish. Everything I start, I finish it.
They always say that justice raised a nation. A nation without justice, it is a failure nation. A lot of Pan Africans were killed all just because of the lack of justice. A lot of Pan Africans, a lot of African leaders who did try to fight for the true liberation of Africa continent, they were all killed, assassinated, poisoned, and politically eliminated, all because of the injustice that took place in Africa continent. Some of them even suffer the betrayal from the people whom they thought that they trusted the most. But for how long will Africa have to stand against this kind of injustice that we get to see in Africa continent? For how long will Africans continue to allow the West power to get influence the Africa justice? They are the one who've been having the last word to say about any kind of case. The West country, they've been having a serious impact in Africa justice system. These people, they've been in Africa for so many years. They are the one who get to manipulate the justice system. They are the one who get to influence and tell even the judge on how this case will have to end according to their own willingness. So guys, there is this bad habit about Africa. In Africa, for those who don't know, there is this kind of habit that we get to see for people who are in power, who are under control of the Western power or the open eye master, if I have to call it in that way. They usually use the justice system in order for them to eliminate whoever will try to stand on their way. And here I'm talking about those who does politics. They'll definitely agree with me that this is how governments and the West power, if they are against you, if they don't want to see you standing on their way, they have to use the justice in order for them to eliminate you. They'll come up with stories, or they'll try to follow you up through your small mistakes that you'll make as a politician, so that they'll use it against you inside the court. And here I'm talking about Julius Malema, who once again appeared inside the court in the Eastern London. Guys, this is the case which already take more than 5 years. What happened? It was that 5 years ago, the EFF leaders were celebrating their birthday as a political party. And then he had to ask for a gun that he shoot in the hair as a sign of celebration. This was a good opportunity for the open eye master who always want to see him going down. They wanted to take this opportunity in order for them to take him down. And what they did, they had to take him to the court for that. Isn't it this case supposed not to be taking long? But unfortunately, that is not the case. You can tell that this is another way of these people trying to eliminate Julius Malema politically, because next year they'll be having election in South Africa. So they are trying to delay this case so that at the end of the day, they'll come and find him as a guilty man, so that maybe that will make him not to be represented to the elections. On the other side, Julius Malema already understand what these people they were up to. In the previous court appearing, Julius Malema addressed the judge and told her the truth right into her face, so that she'll know exactly that she's busy delaying the court. But today what happened, Julius Malema had to come and address this matter once again. Before we get to talk more about this, I want you first to have a listen to what Julius Malema said in front of his followers.
We are here today after 5 years of being accused of having discharged a firearm. The state has kept me here for the past 5 years because they can't defeat my political ideas. They want to use the courts and abuse the state power and the security forces to suppress my voice. And they will never win against me. For because I'm not scared of prison. When you are a revolutionary, prison is your nickname. Because when you join the revolution, there are two things that will happen. You either attain what you stand for, or you'll be killed for what you stand for. Not prison can stop me from executing that which I stand for. No racist magistrate can stop me from executing that which I stand for. No small boy of a prosecutor can persecute me and jail me for what I stand for. For because I'm not scared of a magistrate, I'm not scared of a prosecutor, I'm not scared of a judge, I'm not scared of a president, I'm not scared of capitalism, I'm not scared of white monopoly capital, I'm not scared of anyone. I want all of them combined. The day of victory shall come. Because that day we are destined for. And when you are destined for victory, no one can stop you from making it to that day of victory. So fighters, we must never be shaken by persecution of our leadership, not only in the courts, but in the media, through journalists that are part of the establishment. We must not be scared of those who are using state institutions like SARS, like the Hawks, like the police to try and suppress a dissent. Comrades, when we joined and took the position to go against the ANC, we all knew that this is part of the price we'll have to pay. So when it happens to us, we are not shocked. We are always ready for that day. And when that day comes, we know that day has arrived. The enemy has decided to persecute us.
Listening to the message of Julius Malema, you will understand that this man is well aware of what politicians or leaders or Africans who are working under the open eye mass system, what they usually do to other Africans who want to reveal the truth, who want to stand for Africans, who want to stand for their citizens, on how they usually get eliminated. And Julius Malema is aware about it. That is how he started his message, saying that if you are a revolutionary, then you must know prison is your nickname. So you called yourself as a revolutionary, but prison, consider that as your nickname, because there is only two things which are involved. It is either you stand for what you believe to be right, or you have to be killed. In other words, you have to be eliminated physically. And this is something that's been happening in Africa for so many years. In the beginning, I told you that this is how the West power, they use the justice system, African justice system, in order for them to eliminate whoever who's trying to stand against them, to eliminate whoever as a Pana Africans who's trying to defend the right of the Africans, who's trying to protect the African mineral resources. And they will do these things. Either they eliminate you physically, either they make up a story which it will take you to be inside the court, and once you are in the court, you will be condemned. Once you are being condemned in the prison, then they will have to poison you there. So they do all these things. They have done it with many African leaders, and they succeeded that way. So Julius Malema is aware about all this, and he have to come and make this declaration publicly. And he have to come and make this declaration in front of everyone, so that everyone they should know what is happening inside that magistrate court, where a case that's supposed not even to last for 6 months, but we are now talking about 5 years, and 5 years nothing good is happening out of it, because there is no a case. This case apparently supposed to be dismissed, but the same judge had to refuse and decided to postpone this case one more time without having a proper closure.
We have postponed the case to July because we did not agree that we must hold the case before elections, because they want to hold us here while they are busy campaigning outside. So we said to them, we are not coming back here until after the elections. we will come back here and to sit and listen to that incompetent magistrate who comes late to court, who can't get her papers in order, who can't read her own judgments, who adjourns the court during judgment to go back seat and receive Pravin Gordon's call and receive Ramaphosa's call and receive Batoi's call. When she comes back to give a judgment, she's shaking like hell because it's not a judgment, it's a sponsored judgment. Where have you ever heard such a thing? That a magistrate lives in the middle of a judgment to go behind the court. And when she comes back, she's shaking like a little girl being asked in grade 1 to give an English presentation in front of her classmates. I know the lawyers will say, why does he speak about the magistrate like that? I don't care about her feelings, I care about the law. What does the law say? Not what the magistrate feels. Comrades, a magistrate comes to court that was postponed for so many days with papers that are all over. She can't read her own notes. Her judgment is so disorganized. Then what is even worse, there must be a separation of powers between a magistrate and the police. When she comes into court, she says to a police officer, go and fetch judgment, I forgot it in the office. The magistrate must be the only person who sees the judgment. The judgment must sit here on the magistrate. She leaves a judgment in the office. A police officer sees the judgment because the magistrate said, go and fetch my judgment. What type of incompetence is this? What type of nonsense is this that was subjected to for the past 5 years of an incompetent white magistrate? If it was a black magistrate, these people would have written about her that she's disorganized, she doesn't know how to read, she doesn't know how to write. Because it's a white magistrate, they don't say she's incompetent. She is incompetent. When she delivers her judgment, you can see that she's not sure, she's not convinced, it's not her own conviction.
Another point we note in Julius Malema's speech, he was so determined and very fearless, telling the world and everyone who's behind this case that is not afraid of anyone, because no one will try to stop him from him reaching his goals that he had set as an African child. So this time he was very harsh on this judge by telling everyone how incompetent this judge she is. Julius Malema did not beat around the bush. He did not put the water in his mouth. He speaks his mind out by exposing this judge who's not willing to do a job, and she's there trying to do things kind of like she thinks that she will remain in that position or inside that court forever. So you can tell already that there is a lack of trust in this judge. Julius Malema, he does not care anymore about what will be the outcome of these courts, whether they will be found guilty or not. He does not mind at all. Instead, the man is even more determined, asking his followers to go ahead and vote in their numbers in order for them to take that province, so that you will come after this kind of judges who don't want to do their job properly because they are receiving the order from someone else. Is he lying about that? I don't think so, because we are all familiar of how things work in Africa. By the way, it is only in Africa where you will find a puppet president who have to answer to the open eye master system, and they have to follow the instructions which they get to receive from the open eye master system. So if it happened that Julius Malema is an African child trying to stand against the Western power and trying to protect the interests of Africans, obviously this Western power, they'll try everything by all means to make sure that they remove him in their way so that they'll continue looting Africa as their wishes. So how will them have to remove him in their ways if they don't have the support of the local government or the puppet president whom was answering to their demands? That is another question, because they have to come through something and use it against him. So Julius Malema already understands that this is not just a simple case. This is another way that these people are trying to neutralize him politically. And we all know, we are familiar that this is not the first case that Julius Malema been facing. A lot of cases already, that he won about like 2 cases already, which it is the same people who have to go and put their power together so that they'll fight him and try to challenge him inside the court. But they keep on failing. Some of these cases, you can just tell that here there's no case. There is nothing. Okay, guys, I'm not saying that Julius Malema violated the law or not, because I'm not too good with the law. But let's just think about it like me and you, like, you know, let's put the law aside. What is Julius Malema is being accused here? They're saying that this man, he fired a firearms in a public place where there were thousands of people who were there celebrating with him the anniversary of the EFF, which is his political party. They said that he fired a gun, and that is not good to fire a gun, especially when you're not having a license. You fire it in the public place like that. Okay, fine. Now, they said that no, he broke the law. He have to answer for that. Let's just stop there, because there are 2 of them. It is Julius Malema and his bodyguard, right? But let's just focus on the part of Julius Malema. They said that he fired that gun. And the bodyguard, they're accusing him. They say that he's the one who passed that fire gun to Julius Malema. They said that this man, him as a bodyguard, a person who had the license, the person who was trained to have that firearm, is supposed not to pass it to a person who does not even have a license. He's supposed not to pass it to Julius Malema in order for Julius Malema to fight it in the hair where there's many people. And that's the reason why they want to condemn this Julius Malema bodyguard is also a white person. But something that really got my attention is when Julius Malema says, why are they keeping this bodyguard? Why are them trying to keep him for this long? Because the man is not even the one who shot the firearm. The man, he did not even do that, nothing. I mean, he just passed the firearm. But they are holding him, they are keeping him inside that court because they are afraid to let him go. If they have to let him go, the message to look out there that no, look, they have released their fellow white guy and keep Julius Malema because he's a black, and it's going to be turned into something like a racist. So they are kind of like trying to avoid the fact of saying that no, there is a racist role which is being played so far in this case. So Julius Malema, he had to come and tell them these words.
I don't care about my judgment. I care about the judgment of accused number 2. She amends the charge sheet from the box, from the bench, because the accused number 2 is charged for handing over a firearm to me. The statements were about him handing over the firearm to me. Everybody said when they were playing a video, we can't see him handing over a firearm. Today, the magistrate says, no, that is not the charge. The charge is supply and brought thing like that. We don't know as we stand here what is the actual charge of accused number 2. And then we must keep quiet to nurse a feeling of a white woman. We don't care about feelings of anyone. We care about what does the law say. I said this knowing very well that on the 15th of July, I'm going to appear before her. I'm not saying this here. I will say it to her because I'm not scared of her. I will tell her, you are not applying the law. The reason why you did not discharge accused number 2, you were scared of releasing a white man and leaving a black man in the dock. What type of law is that? The guy must continue to be charged, because if he's released, it will look like we are persecuting a black man. You are persecuting me, whether you release Adrian or not. The reality is that you are looking for me. You don't want Adrian. You have nothing against Adrian. Release my white man and face me alone. I don't need anyone. I can stand up to all of you alone. I don't want people to die for my sins. I die for my own sins. I will never start that which I will never finish. Everything I start, I finish it. So, comrades, that's what we're dealing with, and we'll deal with that after elections.
There you go, guys. So, you'll understand that the mathematics here, actually what is happening right here, is that they are condemning this white bodyguard of Julius Malema, not only because there is a problem of racism here, but it is also another way of punishing this man, because these are the people who always said that a white man can't work for a black person. Regardless of how much money you put on the table as the salary, they still have that mentality of believing that you as a white guy, you can't work for a black person. Now, seeing this white guy working for Julius Malema as his bodyguard, remaining that loyal and faithful to Julius Malema after all these years, that it was a way of them getting even more angry in order for them to keep him inside the court. Because when you're listening to what Julius Malema is saying, according to what we all saw inside that court, you will see that this man, there's not any proof showing him actually taking the gun and passing it to Julius Malema. But yet, he had to be charged, all because they believe that this gun is the one who's supposed to be having it, is the one who's supposed to be keeping this gun, and is the one who had that right or the license to have that gun. So, you will understand that beside them punishing him for the fact that you went and worked with someone like a Julius Malema, they're kind of like also trying to make it look like, okay, this is not all about Julius Malema, but this is about them. Whether you are white or black, you have violated the law. And that's what they're trying to do. So that is the reason why you had Julius Malema saying that, no, look, I'm the one who shot the gun in the hair. And you don't need to bring or involve anyone in this case. You have to release this guy and come and face me, because I'm not afraid of you. I don't need the support of anyone in order for me to defend myself. So here, guys, things are very clear. We don't need to beat around the bush. They are keeping this white guy there is because if they release him, the case will change. They'll be feeling that guilty. They'll feel like, okay, people will say that, no, look, they release their own brothers, now they keep Julius Malema, blah, 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 blah. But guys, let's come now to think together. With these kind of behaviors, as I asked in the beginning of this video, for how long will Africa have to continue tolerating this kind of nonsense? That are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. For how long? Because this is how these people, they manage to eliminate many African youth in politics. This is how the open IMA system, the West, they have come to, to use their puppet presidents in different Africa countries in order for them to eliminate whether you are an opposition leader, whether you are just a Pana Africans and talking against the government or the West. This is how they manage to eliminate all these people, because they are doing everything in their power to make sure that they remain on top of everything. They remain in the position of having the last word to say. So it is a good thing that Julius Malema came out in the media and make this kind of revelation, so that everyone will know what is happening, so that we should know exactly what to expect from this case, whether Julius Malema will be condemned or not. But now that they send it to July and the elections will be taking place, I'm referring to July next year, 2024, and the South African election will be taking place in May. What will happen if Julius Malema become the president of this country? What will be the outcome of this judge? Because they had asked her already to excuse herself, but she refused to re-excuse herself. So what will be a outcome? Because if it happened that Julius Malema win the election, just for an example, that he become the president of South Africa after May 2024, now it will be either this judge, she resign and leave the country, or not. She'll have to face also the test of her own medicine. Because if you listen to the words of Julius Malema, according to what he said, the man said that no, we don't need this kind of judges. And that is how he ended up asking his followers to vote for him, so that once he's in power, he will come back for this kind of judges, so that they'll face the law and put the right people there.
From here, in our mind, there is no court. There's no case. In our mind is voter. We must go after voters because we need to take this state and stop this nonsense. And send this magistrate to a retirement home because he doesn't deserve to sit on the bench where she is.
Now, let's now talk about the judge. Why the delay? Why this kind of delay for so many years? Because when we all listening to this case, guys, I know the justice usually take time. They usually last for I don't know, but we all know that sometimes it can take for years. Okay, fine, but it depends also with the case. It depends with what kind of the case that you are discussing about. And in the case of Julius Malema, guys, we're talking about a gun which went in the hair. It did not injure anyone. It did not kill anyone. This gun went in the hair, but according to the law, apparently it is a violation of the law. So why can't we maybe just find out, okay, if Julius is guilty, find him guilty already. Where are you going to send him to jail? Obviously to be something about month, or maybe to pay some damages. Do it already, because during these 5 years, Julius Malema could have gone to jail and come back and focus in his political activities. But what they're doing is not fair, because they are now taking him out. They're kind of like delaying, so that they'll wait at the right moment when maybe the guy is about to present himself at the elections, and they'll end up showing up. So this is the kind of the games that they are preparing in order for them to hold him down, so that they'll find something to use against him when this moment comes. Let's wait and see what will happen, because we all know what are their intentions and what they are up to. So we shall wait and see what will be the outcome of this court case, and see if this judge perhaps should just know that since they already denounced her, she can come up with a proper justice that these two individuals deserve to have. If they are guilty, then she should do it in the right way. If they are not guilty, then she should set them free, because we want a strong justice system, because a justice raised a nation. Without a good justice, without a strong justice, then the nation won't work properly as it's supposed to be. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video up to now. It was very important that we come and give you our point of view through our analysis, as we usually do time to time on this channel, on this matter that just happened inside the Eastern London Magistrate Court, where the president of EFF, Julius Malema, had to appear. Now we still going to wait and see what will happen in the near future. So if you have any comment that you want also to comment about this, or maybe you want to raise up an opinion, well, you are welcome to drop your comment through the comment section, because we do sit down and have a look on your comment, and we encourage those who usually do that. But if this is your first time and you would like to find more from us through our channel, and you want to know when you are uploading or being live here, so it is very simple. Hit that subscribe button, give us your thumbs up. We really do appreciate, because we really do want to make this Africa great again. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.